Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are in the world. It's Sean Hewitt here from the Trusted Business Community Association, and we're on the marketplace today. And the marketplace is a great place to showcase, as a small business, what you have on offer, your latest deal, your latest business offering, or just something that you want to tell the other business owners out there or the consumer world out there what it is that you can help them with. So this is all about giving you guys listening into this the information so that you know where to go to get exactly what you want from these wonderful professionals that we have on the call. So today we are joined by Ian Reid, myself obviously as host, and Ian's co-host here. Caroline Hobbs is with us, Jonathan Clark Grazie from Boomerang is here with us, Laura Beryl, Bill Christie, and Fani from South Africa as well is here. And they're all going to be telling you a little bit more in detail what they've got on offer over the next month or two, so that they can obviously give you the opportunity to reach out to them if there's something that takes your interest. So without further ado, I am going to bring up the very first person on our call, and that is a gentleman from South Africa, and that is Fani. Fani, lovely to have you with us, my friend. Take yourself off mute and tell us what's going on in the world where you are and what you'd like to showcase today at the marketplace.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, most of the people know that I'm an estate agent and also a project manager. So my core business is selling game farms and also normal farms, where you can either produce cotton or wheat or corn or anything. And in the past 20 years, I focused on foreign investors. I'll just make a quick mathematics here. In South Africa, there's a small farm which is 300 hectares on sale for 5 million rand. Now, if you convert that to British pounds, it's 230,000 pounds. So it makes sense to sell farms to foreign investors because there's a lot of foreign investors that has those type of funding and would like to do something with it. So I sell them the farms, but I also manage it for them. So whether they want to do trophy hunting, or just game breeding, or just farming. That is what I do for them. And we've got properties. I'm a one-man band called Find Me a Farm. I do everything myself. So I've got property ranging from 50 acres up to 53,000 acres in the market, and ranging from 100,000 pounds all the way to 25 million pounds. Game reserves. In South Africa, it is too expensive for a South African to go and buy something like that. But we have foreign investors. I've got Swedish clients, I've got Danish clients, I've got American clients, and they come and they spend that money here. Most of them is people that come and did safaris in South Africa, and they see here's a gap in the market. Let me invest. Let me buy my own place. Then I send my own. They do at the moment you will see the SCI shows that is in America. We've got they call it the Turkey show, is at the moment convention. It's at Nashville at the moment. And also there's one in Austria where these people then meet foreign clients who wants to come to Africa and they bring them over. So that is where my business. I'm not a technological guru when it comes to websites. So even when I advertise, I say to people, if you're looking for something, rather contact me and I'll tell you what I have, because I've got so many properties, I can't even load them all on to my website. So that is my core business, is selling property to foreign investors and manage it to them so that they can get a return on their investment.
Awesome, mate. Thank you very much. And obviously, for people who are looking to invest into the marketplace for farms and game farming and just general farming across South Africa and other southern countries in the African continent, you're the guy to come to, because you've obviously got your finger on the pulse. And I take it they can find you on places like Facebook, LinkedIn, and obviously through your website as well.
Yes.
And find your website address for everyone who's listening in.
It's www.findmeafarm.co.za.
There you go. You've heard it here first. If you're looking for a farm, or looking for the opportunity to invest in South Africa, then speak to Farney and go and have a look at his website. Farney, thank you so much. I'm going to remove you from the spotlight, and I'm going to bring the next person up. Let me just replace so far. Add to spotlight. It's Mr. Ian Reid. Ian Reid, you've got your opportunity to tell us what's going on in the world of the savings and cost savings city world that you work
Hello,
in.
everybody. I was quite surprised there. I wasn't expecting to be brought in so early. But yes, everybody knows what I do. But if you don't, I help people save money on a whole host of stuff right across the business world or in residential properties. And we're also looking to branch out so that we can help people, not just in the UK, but in other ways across other areas of the world as well. So that's hopefully coming soon. Deal this week, or this month rather, is for residential customers, because we've got a brilliant thing that's happening at the moment where if you, this is where I'm not organised, I need to just check my notes here. Had all this written down. See, Sean, you didn't give me any warning that you're coming to me next. Normally you sort of go, right. So yeah, there's lots of different things that we can help people with in their homes. But with the multi-platform or multi-utility platform that we can use, we can help people not just save money on all of the things that you use every day in life, but which is a bit dull and tedious and boring, because that's what utilities are, aren't they? Nobody wants to pay for it, but we sometimes do, and we often do. But you can get some money back. You can get between £50 to £150 cash back to spend on whatever you like, any of the fun stuff. You can use that anywhere. You can use that in anywhere. As long as you take a debit card or a credit card payment, you can use that anywhere. So online, offline, in the supermarket, in the pub, in the coffee shop, anywhere you like. And you also get some cheap stuff off all of your bills. So every time you switch on lights and cook the dinner and all that sort of thing, you'll get it a bit cheaper as well. So there you go. That is me. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, mate. And obviously, you've got a website for people to go and have a look at. What's your website address, my friend?
Actually, that's something that I'm working on at the moment, is getting a website. That's another thing that's coming soon. But you can always contact me through social media. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn, both as Ian Reid, and also I've got a page for the business, which is Cost Savings City. Cost Savings City, not anything, just Cost Savings City. Or you can just use any other manner of means. You can phone me up, you can send smoke signals, you can do whatever you like.
Right, brilliant.
Yeah. And of course, if you've got a can with a very large string, you can do that. It would have to be a really large string if it's Grazy or Farney, because they're miles away. But there you go.
Brilliant. And of course, you can be found in the directory here at the Trusted Business Community Association.
I can indeed, yeah. Everybody should be on that.
Absolutely. Thanks ever so much, mate. Lovely to have you with us. I'm going to bring up the next person to add to the spotlight, and here she is, all the way from the Philippines. It's Grazy. Grazy, tell us what's happening in Boomerang and what your latest deals and offers are.
Hi guys. So right now I would say good morning. Because it's 2:27 in the morning here in the Philippines. And so just a little something about what I do. When you think about me, think about executive assistants, think about for your business cold callers, lead generation experts, project managers, or even someone just managing your calendar, setting appointments for you. So Boomerang actually does help small, medium, and large size businesses find their perfect rock stars over here at the Philippines. So we are wanting to make sure that we build you that global team that would help your onshore team maximize your them being there on site with you. So how we do that is we basically, when you come on as a client with us, you work with our account managers, our recruiters, find the best talent for you, and that talent would become essentially someone as part of your team, just minus the handshake. But think about them as an extension of your current onshore team. Now, if you're a solopreneur or someone whose business is mostly ran by yourself, I think we also want to talk because at the end of the day, as much as you'd like to be Superman, sometimes you need help. Sometimes you want someone looking into your calendar because you might have missed a very important meeting or even just lunch. And we need breathers, right? Sometimes that those little things actually are part of the things that make your day successful. So an executive assistant is one of the best and most, I could say, a personal favorite that I hire for my clients because they really, really make a difference in their day to day. What we are giving out right now, this is something that we built last year. We spent the whole 2025 perfecting this. We call it OBP, which stands for Offshoring Best Practices. Normally, we would give the full blast course to our clients so that they would, when we have someone doing offshoring the first time, we'd like them to be the best leaders, best bosses that they can be to their offshore staff. To help that out, we've built our offshoring best practices course to ensure that you know the little quirks, the communication, and how to, maximize your offshore team. Now, the great thing about it is that for anyone who's just curious about it, Jonathan is actually someone that I'd like to send this over with. I think this is going to be something very helpful to you because he already has a staff over here in the Philippines. Let me just drop the link right there. So you could actually have access to the first three courses of this full blast course. Because at the end of the day, like say, for example, if you sign up as our client, you'll get this as part of your package with us. And we highly encourage you to go through it because this can mean, X10 of your success of your offshore team. So this will not just cover the technical side of things. This will cover, the little cultural differences. I don't think that we have the things that I've shared last Monday with you guys. That's something that I could give freely anytime, any time of the day that you drop me a message for any Filipino translation. But other than that, the little things that, verbal and nonverbal communication type of relationship building with your offshore staff would be also noted right here. So, and the reason why we also built this is that we've seen the most successful businesses or clients that we have had the strongest relationship with their clients. I even have one client who is absolutely basically tied to the hip with his executive assistant that he wants her to under his will, like the whole family knows the executive assistant, basically part of their day to day and whatnot, up to the very, that's how the relationship was so strong because of the trust that they built over. And that's what I dream to every business owner once they have their team with us. We want you to have your time back. We want you to have time to get to bigger things in your business. And you can't do that if you're bogged down with the simple admin stuff. Okay? So So I guess that's it. I've dropped the link right there. Please feel free to grab it. If ever that you don't catch it right now, just drop me a message on my LinkedIn. Happy to connect with you. And if there's anything that I can help, or just a consultation, or even just a chit chat, please let me know. I'm always free to have my calendar open with you and have a chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gracie. And of course, and when she says any time, she does really mean any time, because it's
Right.
just gone 2 a.m. in the morning where she's calling in from at the moment. So there you go. It does mean any time. Um, Gracie, I think what you just described there is phenomenal. I think the opportunity to make really, it really goes back to the saying, teamwork makes the dream work. It's a real perfect connection. It's about building the relationships, and just because somebody's not there, like you say, without the handshake, they're offshore, doesn't mean to say those relationships can be so important to building your business. And of course, with offshoring comes the benefit of cash flow control as well, because trying to recruit in the country of origin can sometimes be a lot more expensive than actually finding a solution offshore. So, yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much, Gracie, for that. I'm bringing to the spotlight and to unfortunately to replace you, Gracie, but not only for a little while. Adding to the spotlight, Laura Beryl is next up, and she's going to tell us what's going on in Laura Beryl PR world. Hello, Laura.
Hi. Well, like I said, I've been we've had my son visiting for a few days from Brighton. I went through two big court cases um because my son's autistic and the local education authority tried to throw him under the bus and remove his legal right to an education. So I took Herts County Council to court. And I won both the High Court judicial review and a tribunal. So I look after people, families, parents with kids on the spectrum. So I've been doing that. I set that up about, oh gosh, a couple of years ago now. And I also get your business in the media. Now I've actually had a very busy day today for obvious reasons because I work with, and I have done for about, God, 15 years now. The first guy who ever took, oh, not 15 years. How old's William now? 40 something? God, I must be old. He basically was the official royal photographer for Charles and Diana. So I've been working with him for many years. So today, when I got up this morning and saw what was going on in the news, I was thinking, oh dear. So, because I've written about the coronation, Charles's coronation, it was all a bit hectic. It's all a bit hectic right now. Um, so that's been really interesting. So, I'm keeping an eye on that. Um, so what I do basically, apart from my looking after parents and kids on the autistic spectrum from my own lived experience, and go through the legal process, even though I'm not a lawyer, I should have been. I did a degree in politics. I get your story in the media. So yeah, I've got people in the Times, Talk Radio, GB News. I used to write for the Times. I used to write for the Sun. Yeah, so I'm interested in hearing people's stories, and I will teach you how to navigate the media because it's an absolute minefield, especially right now. So if you want to get yourself in the press on an even keel without any bias, then come talk to me.
Awesome. And of course, working hard behind the scenes is Laura, bringing well, as you mentioned, obviously she supports small to medium-sized enterprises.
Yeah.
And working hard behind the scenes is the launch of a new magazine that's going to be coming out in the spring. sort of spring, summertime. And that's all coming together. And that's going to be great for the small business world, because it's going to be the small business world's voice that can reach out.
I didn't know whether I could mention that officially now, Sean. So I kind
I've just done it for you. So there you
go. Oh, right, okay.
It's fine.
Marc's been amazing. Marc's been amazing. I know he's away, I think, right now.
Yes.
But he's been absolutely amazing. And there are still staff, there's still work we have to do on that. But what I'm doing right now is I'm going to kind of try and launch it. When I'll speak to Sean with you separately.
Yes.
About launching this, and I've already spoken to Ben about how we're going to do this, because it will take time.
Yes.
It will take time.
Yes, absolutely.
But
And we hit the ground running, though. Make sure it hits the ground running all perfect, and so we're not going back on ourselves. But coming soon will be a magazine that will be reaching out for the SMEs to the SME marketplace, so that more people can get even more exposure of what they're bringing to the world, and tell their story as well of how their journey. So it's going to be amazing, and I'm so looking forward to seeing it being launched in the near future. Thank you so much, Laura. It's always a pleasure to have you here with us, and it's also a pleasure to have this next person with us. Yes, it's our main man from Scotland, Bill Christie, your business and commercial financial facilitator. He is the guy who he's so worldly wise, this man. He is. Everyone who comes to us, if it's a question about business, I go, I know someone who you can speak to. And guess who it is? It is definitely Mr. Bill Christie. Bill, over to you, my friend.
Yes, good evening to you, and good evening also to your listeners. Bill Christie, your business and commercial finance facilitator, based in Scotland, but covering the UK. What do I bring to the table? Well, for all businesses, whether they be a startup, established, growing, it's helping them grow their business by providing the right advice and guidance. If required, the appropriate funding. And funding, there's so many financial tools, and lots of businesses don't know about them, or don't understand them, or don't understand how the right ones can affect their business. It's about getting funding. I'm not a broker. I always say brokers are hunters. I'm a farmer. I like to cultivate relationships. I've had well over 40 years experience working in the business finance sector. First of all, with the Royal Bank of Scotland, including 7 years, a long time ago, and for over 20 years. I was headhunted by a merchant bank to help develop the 6 companies that they had: corporate finance, asset finance, invoice finance, assurance, insurance, and general lending. And when when the parent company decided to sell off all those companies, I thought, well, I must have done a good job. So I decided, what do I want to do next? I didn't want to go back into high street banking, not the way it had become, unfortunately. So I started my own consultancy, and that was over 20 years ago. So I'm just about turning 40 years old now, to help people. But it's listening to people as well. And I ask people, your listeners as well, you've all got friends, you've got colleagues, you've got businesses, whether over a pint in the pub, a glass of wine, or a coffee or a tea, they've got problems. But can you help them? Perhaps you can help them, but you also may need the help of someone like myself, because it's not all about me, it's about us. It's what we can do to help businesses. I met with someone today about startup funding. He's been going for 2 years. He didn't understand things, didn't understand what he had to do as far as his computer was concerned, like registering with Information Commissioner's Office, getting the right sort of cyber essentials and cyber insurance. I don't do it, but I know people who do it. But that's all of the package. It's some people just look at their bank balance and say, that's what I've got. That's not running a business. You've got to work on the business and not always in it. And that's how you can manage it. You can manage your staff. So whether it be a startup looking for £10,000 up to a maximum of £25,000 per person, whether it be a property developer looking to refurbish or to buy land, whether it be a business that's struggling with its cash flow and doesn't know about invoice finance. They don't understand that they can go to asset finance and to help the cash flow as well. So, but it's listening to those people. Now, I ask questions, lots of questions. Normally on a Zoom call, I would say give half an hour and listen to them and ask questions. But what I can do for your listeners is I can give an hour of my time. It's entirely up to them to listen, for me to listen to them and to discuss things. It may turn out that I'm not the person for them, but somebody that I know is. And that's how we grow our businesses, working together, but listening, knowing all about the financial tools, about the problems and everything else. And I don't do HR, but I know people who do HR. But you can do property companies or normal businesses. Do they understand about capital allowances? I'm not an accountant, I'm not a lawyer, but I understand what businesses need and who they need to be speaking to. Is there a problem? A couple may not want to give a bank a charge over the property. But as I've done recently, I managed to get a guarantee insurance for a company. Absolutely delighted, because if they'd gone elsewhere, even taking into account what the bank was going to be charging and the cost of the insurance, if they got the likes of the funding circle, they'd be paying more. So let's have a chat. My website is www.cerbusinessfinance.co.uk. And thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Bill. And I can safely say that everybody I've ever passed over to you, Bill, for guidance and advice, have always come back absolutely with the highest of regard about the advice and guidance that you've given them, and have walked away knowing a lot more than they did when they walked into having a conversation with you. So thank you for your ever-present support of the small business world, my friend. I am going to bring the next person up, and yes, it's this lady here who is our Queen of Cards, but she also does a few other things as well. So I'm just going to remove Bill from the spotlight so that Carolyn Hobbs, Queen of Cards from Carolyn's Card Box, and she does like a chit chat as well. So Carolyn, tell us a little bit what's going on.
Well, really, I would suggest to people that they perhaps send a card to somebody once a month. Pick somebody that you know, or maybe even don't know, and send them a card. Sending a card to a stranger actually is quite an interesting thing to do. I do it regularly through a scheme that I joined a few years ago now, and you get a card back in return, not from the person that you sent to, but part of the scheme. So I think really that says a lot, doesn't it? You send a card to somebody that you don't know, and has quite an impact on that person. So I think really sending a card to somebody you do know will have even more of an impact. And it's just something to say, I'm thinking of you, you're not on your own. If you need anything, you know where I am. And it doesn't need to be all convoluted wording. It just needs to be simple. Doesn't need to be anything more than just that to make an impact. So I would suggest to people that they have at least 20 cards in their top drawer, whether that be in the office or at home, a couple of stamps, second class. Don't waste your money on first, because they won't arrive before the second class. Yes, so you don't stress out. If somebody has a birthday, you can just go to your drawer, write it out, and either pop it through the letterbox or stick a stamp on it and pop it in the post. And it doesn't matter in a way that it doesn't get there on time. The fact is that you have made the effort to make contact with somebody, and it stands out because it's out of the ordinary. It's more sustainable than your email. your text message, your WhatsApps, because for those you need immense amount of water, you need data storage, you need a satellite. So none of that is, yes, it's quick, but it's not sustainable. So a card is sustainable. It's a memory. If you like the card, you can put it in a frame on the wall. You can get it out of the frame and reread it. If it's a long card, if it's long, like a letter form card rather than just a few words, you can get it out and reread it. You can't really do that with an email. It's not quite the same. So to have a card in your hand is really one of the best things you can do. So yeah, I can help contact and keep contact with people. I offer a card writing service for people in this country, and if you have family or business associates or friends in the UK, I can help write cards using your own wording that is sent to me, and I then transcribe it. I also can help with people that live in countries such as Rani's, South Africa, that don't have a very good postal service, if at all. It's so corrupt. So I can help get mail out to people in the UK. So if that's of help. So yeah, that's me. If you need a card sent, purchased, or whatever else, please do get in touch. And I'm contactable on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and all the rest of it. And yes, I do. I have a chit chat. It's Carolyn's chit chat, and we talk about everything but business. And I had a brilliant chit chat today with a lady called Donna, the astronomer down in Australia, and we talk Spitfires. So it was brilliant. And there will be another conversation coming because we learned we have another love of another aeroplane. So there will be another chit chat about the other aeroplane. So it just goes on and on and on. I think that's probably about the fourth conversation I've had with her. Yeah, it was brilliant. And we'll be doing it again very soon. So yes, if you want to have a chit chat with me, then do get in touch.
And
Thank you.
of course, Carolyn, your chit chats are recorded and then shared across the social medias,
Yes.
which is great because obviously it's again about presence. I love the fact that you talked about the how cards can be so sustainable, but also the impact that they have. You know, you mentioned emails, and I don't know about everyone listening in on this call today, but you mentioned emails, and how many emails do we actually have to sift through to get to the right emails? Because there's so much junk emails in, people trying to sell you something, whatever it may be, and you have to. And sometimes you could send somebody a really lovely email saying how wonderful they are, but it gets lost because of all the other stuff that's in their email inbox or even their junk box. Whereas obviously a card can lay on the floor below the letterbox at the front door, and it's arrived. And rather than having to sift through lots and lots of other emails or WhatsApp messages, like you've mentioned, you actually got it there, and it's right there. It's right in front of you. You pick it up, you open it up, you feel it, you touch it, you see it, you read it, and that impact is so important. So yeah, I would certainly agree with you. At least 20 cards of variation in the top drawer of your office or your home, somewhere safe, so that you can pick up a card and send it. And whether that be a birthday or just a thank you or a thinking of you card, it doesn't matter. But the most important thing is a card received has a greater impact than an email, WhatsApp, or Facebook message, or even a LinkedIn Messenger message. So, because let's face it, WhatsApp, you can turn disappearing messages on WhatsApp, so that message will be deleted after a certain amount of days. A card you can keep forever. Thank you so much, Carolyn, and looking forward to obviously hearing further chit chats online as a subscriber to your channel anyway. So thank you very much. And next up, we are bringing to the spotlight this man. This man is Jonathan Clark. Let me remove Carolyn. Jonathan, the floor is yours, my friend. So you're fully booked, I see. Fully booked down there in your title, Jonathan. So I'm glad you've been able to spend a bit of time being fully booked with us. So tell us a little bit about your backstory, what it is you're looking to offer. Tell the world listening in who you are, what you do, and what special, if you've got a special thing coming up or a special opportunity for people to get involved with, then feel free to let them know now. Here's your time. Over to you, Jonathan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I crawled into my attic 20 years ago and discovered a document on the old green computer paper with the holes down the sides, printed in dot matrix print. You might remember that stuff. And I read this story and I thought, this is really, really good. Who wrote this? And I discovered that back in 1988, I'd written it. I was like, oh my goodness, this is pretty cool. And that set me on a journey of writing books. I had no idea that I would want to or need to or enjoy it. And my 29th book went live 3rd of January. It's on the slide somewhere. And there's about 60 more on the pipeline. So I've turned into a prolific author. And what I do now is I help other people do exactly the same. The interesting statistic I looked up on Google here, 81% of people express a desire to write a book, but only about 3% actually ever finish writing one. And only 15% of them publish it. So it's a tiny, tiny, small margin of the population. But think about this. You can use a printed book, and I'm all for paperback books, to impact more people without having to cold call or without having to fight gatekeepers. If you sat on a plane with someone, had a great chat, and they say, do you have a business card? And you pull out your book, you get your best pen and you sign it, something profound, and you hand it to them. That is the ultimate calling card, and that will open doors for you. So imagine if you had your own best-selling book on Amazon, not just a published author, but a best-selling published author. Something that your grandchildren will read, a legacy item. And I always say the book that changes your life is the book that you write. It's not one that you read. And have you ever noticed what the first 6 letters of the word authority spells? But most people think, little old me, what do I know? How could I possibly write a book? It's all been said before. Or they think they can't possibly do it. They don't have the discipline to write 1,000 words a day. And they don't know what to write about. They've no idea even where to start. So what I do is I help people go from questioning and unsure and overwhelmed to having their own Amazon best-selling book in 90 days, and they don't touch a keyboard. Now, the question that always comes up is, do you use AI to write the books? No, we use AI to find out what is currently hot and selling in the marketplace. And then we take what the client wants to write about and we mash the two of those together into a secret sauce cocktail. And that's what we sell. We even know how many copies we need to sell to hit #1 before we even write the book. And the way we do it is we interview the client on Zoom. So we decide what chapter 1 is going to be about, and we spend an hour on Zoom. I interview them with certain key directionalized questions. They speak chapter 1. It gets transcribed. There's the first draft. You want 6 chapters, 6 Zoom calls. Book is basically written. We then edit it, proofread it, cover it, and publish it on Amazon, on Kindle, paperback, audiobook, and hardback if they want it. That's basically what we do. Now, you can make money with your book. Amazon will pay you 70% royalties. If you are a celebrity chef, you'll be lucky if you get 25% royalties, but then you're going through a traditional publishing house. We're talking about independently publishing. So you get to keep the majority of the money, but you're going to have to market it as well. So we help our clients and show them 29 things they can do with their book to open doors, get in front of influencers, generate leads, whatever it might be. It may just be a passion project. They want to write a book and finally get it out there once and for all. Now, you get fiction books, which are stories, obviously. I've written a lot of them. You get low content books, which are the planners and the journals and that kind of stuff, which are generally used for entertainment purposes. But someone buys a non-fiction business book because they either want to master a skill or they want to solve a problem. And that's generally what we focus on is non-fiction business books. So I'm looking for somebody who is either interested in writing a book, but they think it's going to be some 12 Trials of Hercules in a tower with a white beard and a feather quill and a pot of ink. Um, and it really isn't that anymore. It used to be, but not anymore. Someone who's got an idea for a book, or maybe someone who's actually published a book, but it isn't selling, and it's loitering somewhere number 2 million on Amazon, and they're just not making any sales. Generally because authors are introverts, usually, and when they type the words "the end," they think it is. And what I'm also fond of saying, and I'll end on this, is there is the storytelling, then there is the story selling. And bear in mind, it's not best written, it's best selling. So that's what I do. If you want to check out my website, I'll put it in the chat. It's called ascendtobestseller.com. It's called the Ascension Program. We make you an Amazon bestselling author in 90 days, and you don't have to touch a keyboard. And that is me.
Thank you so much, and I will give you a name straight after the recording is finished, because you are the perfect fit for somebody within the association who has a book, and she's already wrote it, but she wants to relaunch it, really, I suppose, and get it out there get more sales out of it. And it's not just one; it's a couple. So there's a couple of books. She just wants to give it some reverb, if you like, and get it out there and make it a number one. I will talk to you about that after we finish the recording. Thank you so much. Let me remove you from Spotlight and just add myself briefly to the Spotlight. There we go. Oh, there we go. Spotlight for everyone. That's me. Hello, I'm Sean Hewitt from the Trusted Business Community Association. I'm not here to sell anything today. I'm just here to thank everyone on the call and for listening. For those listening in, I hope you've got a little bit more of knowledge about those wonderful professionals that we've had on the call today. If the Trusted Business Community Association is something that you're thinking, what on earth is that? Then please reach out to me. You can find me on LinkedIn as under my name, Sean Hewitt, as well as our business page, which is Trusted Business Community Association on LinkedIn. You can also find us on Facebook under my name, as well as the Trusted Business Community Association's page. You can also find my website at www.trustedbusinesscommunity.com. There you can read up a little bit more about who we are, what we do, how we help small businesses. There's many different ways to be involved in the Trusted Business Community, from a networking member all the way up to a premier partner. And we have a full array of those members on this call today for all different levels. And if you want to get yourself noticed, become one in a million rather than being one of a million, then we can give you the tips and tricks and the support that's going to get you noticed and put you on that pedestal. That's all I wanted to say. Is a conversation with you is completely free of charge from me. I do not charge for having a conversation with anybody. If somebody's interested, or even if somebody's saying, hey, look, I'd really like to get some introductions to some quality, trusted business owners, then reach out to me and I will have that meeting with you completely free of charge, and I will point you in the direction of the people that make up the inner circle of this organisation. Thank you so much for listening, and for everyone on the call, thank you for being here. And for those listening in on YouTube or through the social medias where this YouTube opportunity is available, then please obviously give us a call here. However, there is one very last thing that I would like to just bring to everyone's attention, and I'm going to bring Ian Reid back for this, because Ian would like to just discuss something along the lines of our normal host here, Marc Burns, who's actually away on holiday. Hence, Ian and I have been doing this one today. Ian is here. And Ian, you've got something that you'd like to pass on from Marc Burns.
Yes, yeah, we don't usually do this. Usually people come on the call and tell everybody else about their deals, but Mark's kind of the architect of this call, so we've made an exception to this. So as you know, Marc Burns has been doing a few things over the last few years, but in the last 5-6 weeks or a couple of months or so, he's been going into tech. And if you were on the the Simply Tech Talk call last month or this month, I can't remember which month it was, he was telling you all about the apps that he's doing. Now, he's got a little offer that he wanted to tell people about, and I'll pop into the chat a little sample of one of these little apps that he's doing, if I can get this to work. I might have to do that in a minute or two. For some reason, technology is not doing what it's told. But it's basically like a kind of a mini app, I suppose. Also a bit like a virtual business card, but a virtual business card that's a bit more kind of fancier, I suppose you could say. So he's doing one of these. I'll let you have a look at this when I send this across. It's called an app lite. And you can have all your details on there, links to all your channels and your, Facebook page, LinkedIn page, website, Jonathan's 435 books that he's written, all that kind of thing. Carolyn's 900 chats that she's had with people. The sort of possibilities are, I think, kind of endless. So he wasn't here tonight, but we've asked to put this in. So he's doing this for £200 as a special offer. I'll try and get this link up, so I'll put that in the chat so you can have a look at that, and then we'll get that onto the site with the YouTube thing as well. I don't know how we do that either, Sean. That's your department, but that's Mark's one. So thanks very much for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, my friend. Brilliant, thank you. And I'm just going to add myself back to the spotlight with you alongside me. Yes, we're coming to the end of the live part of the meeting. Thank you everyone for being here with us, and it's great to obviously have you being able to showcase yourself to not just those in the room, but for beyond throughout the YouTube and obviously beyond into the social medias. As I mentioned earlier, it doesn't cost anything to chat with us. Come along, have a conversation. We're always here to help small business owners thrive. And if we can help you by introducing you to some fab people who will be able to help your business grow, then that is part of our job done for you. So, and it doesn't have to cost you anything, because those in the membership is the ones that we're going to be obviously introducing you to. So feel free to reach out, come say hello, and we'll do the rest of it, and we'll do the introductions for you completely free of charge. Other than that, thank you so much for everyone listening in. And as I always finish off at the end of every live video, remember, to everyone out there listening in, it's the coming together that sets us all apart. So maybe you should be coming along next time to be showcasing your next business offer. Thank you very much for listening, and to all those outside, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, folks.